Okay, so let's go in and start working on this last tutorial that I've given you here in class. So the first thing we're going to do is make sure we've got our project open. Here I've got it open from the last tutorial we worked on. And now I'm going to go in and I'm going to go to the south elevation, and we're going to add in another datum. So we did one for level 3 in the last tutorial. Let's go ahead and do another one. So go up here to the top architecture tab, come over to datum. We're going to grab the level one. Okay, I'm going to come over here, line up the left-hand side with the left edge of them, pull it over. And this is simply to keep everything nice and organized in this view. And it doesn't matter if I made it up here or I made it down here inside the building. We're going to set the level because nothing's linked to this just yet. Okay? So let's come in here and we'll set this height at 36 feet. So it's nice and level with the current top of our building. Okay? Okay. So next thing I'm going to do is rename it. And now we're going to put T.O. masonry. And the reason we call it that is because this is the top of the masonry wall. So TO is top of. Yes, I want to rename the corresponding view. So it's going to rename level 4 in the floor plan and the ceiling plan for us. There we go. All right. So let's go on from here. So yes, we've renamed it. Now we're going to add a hip roof to our building. So let's go to that floor plan, the TO masonry. And you can see right now, the reason we can see level 3 below is because it's set as the underlay. So let's go up here and let's go to roof. I'm going to do roof by footprint. Okay. So first thing we're going to do is we need to change the slope of the roof. Okay. So and we're going to set this to a 612. So okay, so to change the pitch on that roof, we're going to change here from roofs under our properties to new or sketch, and that's where we actually set the pitch of our roof. So instead of a 912 roof, we want a 612. And this is something that if we had to, we could have gone back and fixed later, but better to go ahead and get it set up from the start so that's all nice. Hit apply. So now we're set up with a 612 roof. And we're going to go around our building and let's start picking some of these walls. So this wall right here, this wall, and this wall. Now the reason I'm only picking one on each side is because we want these walls to all match up here in a minute. So I'm going to use my trim extend. I'll have to flip a few of these walls to the outside edges. That's okay. Flip that one out. That one out. So all of the walls should be highlighting the outside edge of our walls. They should all be at a 612 pitch, and every one of these should be pitch defining. All right. So let's come over here and let's hit our green check mark. And it says, would we like to attach the highlighted walls to the roof? We're going to select no because we've already got those at the right height. Okay, let's switch over to our elevation. So our south elevation. So here's our atrium right here. Okay, we can see that our roof fits over that. I'm going to change this detail level to medium and shift over to shaded just to make this a little easier to read. So the neon blue is glass, the kind of slate blue is the roof, and the red is our brick. Okay. All right. Let's go back to our top of masonry now. And we'll come over here to our east stairwell. So that's the one over here. Okay. So we'll do a roof by footprint again. Now, we're still going to be set up for that 612 because that was the last thing that we used. So we'll come in. We're going to pick this wall. Pick this wall. And we'll pick this wall. Okay. Now, on the next one, I'm going to turn off define slope. And we are going to I'll pick this wall out here simply because we'll be able to combine this in. So let's combine that. Just remember, we do need a closed perimeter. All right. Now, before I close this off, per our instructions, we're going to take this line and we're going to move it 6 feet into the building. And the reason we're doing that is so it'll extend into this roof. That way we'll be able to join the two together. Okay. So let's check. And again, we're going to hit no. We don't want to change the height of any walls. All right, go back to 3D view and we can see there's that roof we just created. Okay. So let's select this roof element here over our east stairwell shaft. And up here under modify, there's one right here. It looks like a little T on its side. It's join unjoin roof. We're going to select it. Okay. So the first step is we select this edge of this roof. So we select the edge of the stairwell roof first. And then we select the edge so that we're highlighting the triangle of the face that we want to connect to. And once we've done that, now this roof extends over and clips in and joins that roof now. Okay. Now we can do the exact same steps on the other side. So let's go back into top of masonry. Move over to the other side. And we're going to do go back to architecture, roof by footprint. One. Nope. Hold on. So first thing, when we do roof by footprint, remember we need to go in. We need to turn define slope on first. Let's select these guys. Turn define slope back off. I'm going to select this wall. And we're going to select that wall and move it in another 6 feet again, because the only way to use the join unjoin is if the roofs actually intersect in some way. So we're just bringing them in 6 feet. If they went even more, it would work, but we need to be able to select this edge right here. So let's finish that. No, don't change the roof. 3D view, and we go into the 3D view because that's the easiest one to work with for doing it. So let's go to modify, join unjoin, edge of the stairwell roof, face of the main roof. And there we go. So now you can see we've got those two additional roofs that are set in, and in doing this, this creates the ridges and the valleys for all that work. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and come in here and I'm going to save real quick. So save as project, and I'll call this 5-1. Save. Okay. So now that we've got that saved, let's go back to the top of masonry. Okay. And we're going to look at our atrium here. So first thing we're going to have to do is right now, if you look back in 3D view, is that we need to be able to figure out some type of wall that's going to go across the top here, because these walls really should not be fitting in. Okay. So because this atrium is going to stick up just a little bit higher. Okay. So back on top of masonry, we're going to go to architecture, wall. Okay. And we're going to select the generic 5-inch. And we're going to make a new version of this one. So we're going to edit it, duplicate. We're going to call it exterior wall aluminum. Okay. Hit OK. Now we'll go in and edit. And we'll set this up. So click on one, so we insert one above that. Okay. We'll change it from structure to finish. Material, we will select aluminum. So I'll move my material browser back over here. And I'll just type aluminum in the top. And you can see here it comes up. Hit OK. So we have aluminum. The structure below that we're just going to leave alone. So it'll just be generic. We're going to set it at 2.5 inches. And we'll set the thickness of the aluminum at 5/8 of an inch. Okay. Okay, I'll hit OK. And everything looks good, so we'll hit OK again. Let's see, I'm going to update our view to medium and change it over to shaded so I can see what's going on. So right now, realize I can only see the roof because we don't go down far enough. But I'm going to come in here. So the wall we draw, I want the exterior face of this aluminum to match the exterior face of the glass. So I'm going to go to finish face exterior. I'm going to come over here. Let's start down here. I'm going to draw. I'm going to bring these all the way in to the inside edge of my first wall. Bring this one down. And on these walls, I'm not going to bring them the entire way, just because right now we don't have any structure here in the corner, and I don't have anything to snap to for that edge. Okay, that connected. Come back, I'll do this one. Okay. And I'm going to bring that all the way back to there. Okay. Now, all of these walls, select one, right click, select all instances in view. I'm going to change their unconnected height from 10 feet to 4 feet. And hit apply. Let's go to our 3D view and see how that looks. So you can see here's that wall that we've created for how that connects in. Okay. Now, one thing we need to do is to make sure that these walls extend far enough back that they fully come into this ceiling. So I'm going to grab this edge. I'm going to pull it back. Let's see, what is that? That's 37. Let's just call it 40 feet and we'll be good. Do this one. This time I'll just change the dimension. And it does the same thing for me. And all we're doing is just making sure that this line extends far enough back in that we can actually work with it. Okay. All right. Now we'll go back to our top of masonry. Go to our roof. And again, we can use roof by footprint. One thing we need to do though this time is because now we're working, the top of this wall is 4 feet above the top of masonry level, we need to change our base offset to 4 feet. That way it's creating a temporary plane 4 feet up that we're going to work on. So select that one. Nope, go back. And I need to turn define slope on. have slope on these guys, and then I'll turn it back off to draw the line. That's the back edge. No, we don't want to affect any walls. Go back to 3D view so you can see how it extends in. All right. We'll do our join, unjoin again. So modify, geometry, join, unjoin. Edge of the roof we're bringing in, face of the roof is going to connect to. All right. Okay. So now if we go and we look at our side elevation, so let's look at our east one. That way it'll look like figure 5-1.16. And we'll change it over to medium and shaded. And we can see here's our brick, here's our roofs, here's the aluminum, and here's our glass. So we've done everything there just fine. Okay, the last thing we're going to do here is we're going to go to top of masonry. Actually, no, we're going to go to level 3. I'm going to select these interior walls. To quickly do this, I'm just going to go to select all instances in this view. And we're going to change their top constraint to up to top of masonry. Hit apply. Go back to 3D. We rotate in. We can see now that here's our level 3. See that it goes up to top of masonry. Okay, let's go ahead and save. All right. So the last thing we're going to do here is we're going to insert the skylights. So let's switch to our south elevation. Okay. I'm going to select window, which is under architecture, and we'll have to load this family in. Okay. And we're going to go down to windows, and we're going to look for our skylight right there. All right, and we're going to switch over to the 24-by-27 skylight. Okay. And then we're going to go in and we're just going to roughly place a couple of these on the roof. So 2 on each level, just kind of aiming for where we think they go. We'll get them lined up here in a second. Okay. So I'm going to hit escape to get out. Now we're going to switch over to the west elevation. You can see there, I can see it right there. So when I select that skylight, now we can control its dimension along the pitch of the roof. So for these skylights, we're going to need to take this witness line all the way up to the top of our roof. And we want to be from the center line of our skylight. Okay. And we want that distance to be set at 22 feet 8 inches. Helps when I click on it. Okay. Okay. Then I'll select the other one. Now, if I wanted to, I could do all this adjusting again, or we can use our align tool. So center line of the skylight, I want to. So my reference line, the one to move, and then I can lock those together. Okay. So now we'll switch over to the east elevation. One of my skylights. Again, I'm going to have to change my witness lines. Change that to 22 feet 8 inches. And I'm going to do the same thing using my align tool. Center line of the first skylight, center line of the second, and then lock those in line. So if I go back to my south elevation now, you'll see that they're all nice and lined up. Okay. Now at this point we really haven't said where any of these are located. If we wanted to, we could select one, and this says that, okay, this is 23 feet 4 7/8 off the center. Let me move that to the center line. So let's just change that to be, let's call it 24 feet. Select our next one. Let's go center to center. It's at 16, so let's call it 18 feet instead. Okay. Now let's do the same to the other side. So again, 24 feet for the first one. Second one. Midline. The edge I want there. We're going to call that 18 feet. So everything is nice and safely spaced out. Okay. So in our south view, let me turn shaded off for a minute because I think that's hiding what we're looking at. Oh, close, sorry. I accidentally opened that one. So, and in ours, we really don't see the tags for these, but we do, which is what it refers to when it starts getting into steps 13, 14, and 15. We're not going to worry too much about that, but if we do go into our 3D view, we zoom in, you can see that you can actually see into the space through those views. Now, one last thing I'm going to do in this model, because this is what we did in class, is I'm going to go in and add a slab real quick. So I'm going to go to level 1, go to structure, floor, structural floor, and let's call this, let's just go with a 3-inch, well, this is the first floor, so this one needs to be, oh, we'll just go with a, we'll go with a generic 12-inch slab to support this entire building. So we'll come in, and we'll connect all of this up. Okay. I'm going to flip this bottom line so we're picking up all of our structure. And I'm going to do this in 3 pours. So let's get this here. I'll do another structural slab. This time I'll come in and I will pick the stairwell. Okay. And on this wall, I'm going to flip that one. Sometimes it gets a little picky when it's doing these, so we have to go in and actually tell it which side we want that on. Or if it's being a real pain, we just go in and we draw it in where we want it, which does have to happen from time to time. Like that. Let's go get our other one fixed real quick. So I'm just going to flip it out. I'm going to delete that line. We'll draw it in real quick. I'll close this up. Alright, and you can see now that we've got our 2 slabs. I guess I need to do one more here real fast. Floor structural. And this time, just to make my life easy, I'm just going to do or I was going to make my life easy, but it didn't work. That line. I'm just not going to worry about that. Okay, so there we've got our slabs for that floor. We'll go up to level 2. Again, we'll do a floor, pick walls. This time I'm just going to, let's hold off on that one. Take this wall that I've got here out. We'll combine those up. Check that one there. No, I don't want to jump. I'm going to hit yes because I want to trim the walls off to this level. Yes, I want to let it trim. Go to level 3 and do the same thing real fast. And I'll combine those together. Yes. Yes. Go back to our 3D view. And you can see now that we've got our floors. And we've got a very nice building now. So with that, that's going to complete what I want you guys to do for the tutorial. Hopefully you'll put these walls, put the floors in. It's not in the tutorial packet, so you don't have to do it. Also, you do not need to continue on to do what's called exercise 5-3, which is just a roof study portion of that. So with that, let's close this out, and I'll see everybody in class and hope this was helpful for all of you.